I showed you earlier. What they do is because libel, клевета, libel,
If you lie about something.
No.
To bash someone's character?
Yeah. So libel laws in the US I think are very strong. And if you do post something not right about a person, it may sue you.
Right.
And if you're a blogger and write about Microsoft, something that's not true, their lawyers will sue you in half an hour. You have to pay huge amounts. So libel laws are very strong in the US. They're not so strong in Bulgaria. I'm not going to talk about that. So laws start to defend their backs. They start to regroup and they start to do journalism. They start to do investigation. They start to ask PR stuff and so on and so on. So
okay, you will not allow me again to interrupt you. And I do thank you for that. He brings us to another point. This is called in social sciences the intersection. This is called multimedia. It's where old media and new media start to work together. So newspapers are leaping, they're starting to run blogs and websites, so they're reaching to new media, right? As blogs, on the other hand, all of a sudden we may see, and I've seen it in the US, very interesting blogs published. So you get exchanges on blogs on paper in a tiny magazine that you can get at home, right? This is called multimedia, the diversification of media. So it's no longer just one media, as he said, the boundaries are blurred now. In this global economy, everything is intertwined and interconnected together. So new media, old media, yet multimedia, everything is together. You should know these distinctions are very important in social sciences, right? So he shows us in real life how this is happening. Blogs are regrouping to respond to how traditional media function.
So this is, I'll give you some statistical data now, besides my subjective opinion about what is multi-subjectivity. This is some research, scientific research from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology done by a researcher called Fernanda Viegas, and about expectations of privacy and accountability concerning blogs. She did the research about 1,000 blogs all around the world, Bulgarians included, and saying their expectations of privacy and accountability. So 75% of the people, of the authors, identify their blogs, 55% with the first and family name, and 20% with first name or no nickname. So about three-fourths. So about 75% of the people can be identified in their blogs. My opinion is that about 90% of the blogs are extremely stupid, so that this gives a very good number about how people tend to say their name and appear. So insofar there were, like web forums, usually people were anonymous. In blogs they aren't. 75% are there. 83% classify their text as opinions, which may lead later. I have some questions, like the second part. After the coffee break, we'll do something like a workshop. This number might be important because people classify their text as opinions, not news. Here's the difference between media and blogs. People classify text as opinions. And 20% publish something they say useful information. So this is how it goes in specializing.
The question of, is this really a virtual space of liberty and freedom is very important. Are we liberated by blogging? What are the limits to such liberties within this virtual space? Who are the people who are writing in the blogs? We can call them opinion makers. They get out there, they say what they want to say, and people read. But who are these people? And Lenko made the point, they tend to present personal opinions versus a journalist who seeks a balanced point of view. Right now, we see the presidential elections in the United States. If you're a journalist, you will get the Republican side And you will present to the public the democratic side, right? How one party versus the other sees a specific issue or a question. If you're a blogger, you go out there and you can bash the Republican Party and advance your point of view. I want Hillary Clinton to be, I want a woman, or you, in that case, articulate an opinion, your personal point of view, not a balanced point of view. In that sense that, from this perspective, are blogs or should blogs be that influential? Why should we care about what individual persons have to say on an issue? Why are they opinion makers, or are they? These are all very important questions as sociologists you must think about. Speaking of Google, we should know these distinctions, new media versus old media, are very important. And as Elena pointed out, Google, search engine, a company, an American company, created in the 1990s this democracy, virtual democracy, by linking all of these free-floating websites or whatever out there. But Google is also a capitalist venture. Remember that. Why? Google, those who own Google got out. People like us, Google, the average employer of Google is probably about 25 to 30 years old. These are young people who run Google. They all decided to drive Hondas and Toyotas. They make all of this money, but they do not buy Mercedes. They don't live the lifestyle of a big entrepreneur or capitalist. Their motto is do no evil. So they present themselves as this incredibly liberating democratic institution, right? That runs virtual space. But at the same time, Google is a company. And as democratic as Google is, remember the case in China, when the Chinese government pressured Google, right, to release the name of a Chinese dissident who was blogging and expressing opinions that the Chinese government did not like. What did Google do? They released the name. Is this democracy, you ask? Is Google some, pillar of democracy and liberty? Or is it a capitalist venture that bows to the needs of governments and states and politics? Think about this interactivity and how it is used in other media, beyond blogs. Think about reality shows. Last year in the United States, more people voted for the American Idol than they did in local elections, or presidential elections for that matter last time. Remember that. A reality show is trying to pull the audience in and to have precisely that dialogue. You are invited to vote online for someone who is running around the world and is supposed to reach a pace faster than the others, or people run naked, islands, Big Brother, all of that stuff. They invite you to vote, they want your opinion, that's a participation. And in that sense, one may argue, well, reality shows are as liberating as our blogs, right? If this is the principle by which we evaluate the creation of that participating democracy, a reality shows does the same. You vote, you choose who is the best, right? But think about it. So these are characteristics not just of blogs, right? Traditional or old media is trying to use that same interactive communication to make money, to pull us into their own audiences. But Lenko, I want to ask you, no selfish.